Uh, this time it's again at table 4. It's Justin Durant versus uh, where's the oh, Israel Sosa. And they are both 2-0.
Lunch is after this round. It is 45 minutes. So 1:45, you have to be seated and ready to play. 2:30, my bad. 2:30, seated and ready to play. 2:30. All right, Pokemon players, round 3 begin.
All right. Time has started now at 12:41. We see Justin playing Plasma most likely. I see a Water Energy Colress machine. Unfortunately, I could not fix like the twitching at all, but thankfully we could still see the game. That is the glare is kind of bad. All right, yeah, it's a Darkrai. So most likely we're gonna see Darker Garbodor again. Go straight for the Sableye. It's most important card in the deck. This card's a Max Potion, which gives information to Justin at least, and it gets a Dark Patch too. Like this is turning out to be a great start for Israel. And a Bike. Okay. He gets the energy too. And the Juniper. Oh my gosh. This start has been insane by Israel. So maybe it's I haven't even seen any Garbodor stuff yet. It's just looking like straight Darkrai with bikes. Now, lessened popularity just because the energy switch being rotated out. It's still a good deck, but I don't think it's good enough, and it needs like Garbodor to help it beat like Blastoise and certain decks like that. But I mean, so far the way it is right now, it's been playing lights out. It's 2-0. All right, so we see Justin Plasma Ball for Kyurem. He has a Water Energy. He has a Colress machine in his hand, most likely going to go to Kyurem. He has a Laser too. Uh, and he does, I saw Bangle, so he does play Laser and Bangle, which I think you kind of need to play both in this type of format. You need both forms of like damage output. You see a Juniper in his hand too, another Water, and a Switch, okay. So with the Verbank in play, that Laser means it takes out the Sableye. And it's just big. And the Juniper for 7 gets another Kyurem, 2 Kyurem, another Deoxys. I don't think I would have benched that Deoxys right there, just because you have the enough damage to kill the Sableye, and benching that Deoxys is a liability in case Israel just catches it, and Justin doesn't have a way to get it out of the active spot. This is just going to be a laser battle. Alright, so we see an Ultra Ball. Discarding a Bike and a Laser. That's big, I guess. Like, I wonder if he's going to get another Sableye and just try to get those lasers back. Because they're definitely one of the most important things in this matchup. The Verbank's not going to leave play. It's in there for good. And Laser just adds so much more like power to Darkrai. And with Dark Claw, Laser actually allows you to one-shot Kyurems. And we see another bicycle from Israel. Another dark patch. So he has been on a blazing fast start. And it's just insane. Like, he's gotten the dark patch when he needs it, turn 1. He's gotten the dark patch turn 2. He has gotten bicycles into junipers, into lasers, into everything he needs. And if he had energy switch still in this format, he would have had a turn 2 Darkrai knocking out that Kyurem. So Justin stays asleep, which always hurts. Like, it just sucks. When you flip that coin and it lands on tails, it's just the worst feeling in the world. So he opts not to bench the third Kyurem to get an extra card. I would think you would just want to bench them anyway because they're your main attackers against Darkrai. But it's just another, like, you already, if they capture it up, it's not going to help you anyway. Unless he plays something I don't know. So he draws Colress Machine, no energy, which is really bad. He didn't have a switch to get out of the sleep and poison. So that Kyurem is most likely going down to a Darkrai next turn. He wakes up at least. So there's another dark patch. That Darkrai is now fully charged up. There's Ultra Ball. I see a random receiver in Israel's hand. So yeah, this is just straight Darkrai, and he even plays a Keldeo. So Israel is just on a blazing fast start. And it's showing. With Justin missing that energy attachment last turn, so behind right now. And I still don't like the idea of benching more Deoxys. Usually with Kyurem, it's 2 Deoxys for the Frost Spear for 50, and then it allows you to knock it out later easily with like Blizzard Burn and 1 Deoxys or anything. So we see Colress Machine, most likely going to go on the Kyurem. Unless he has a Prism Energy. Like, a Prism on the Deoxys would do 100 or 90? 100 to the Darkrai, but not. Okay. See the Plasma there. See some catchers, an N, a Chorus, and a Laser. Okay. Justin definitely needs to just start attacking this turn. But yeah, it's definitely a rough position for Justin, and Israel's just has a huge lead. And I think you even see an Enhanced Hammer in his hand, and that just puts Justin back even more. The one thing about playing a lot of Burbank City gyms is once one's out there, the rest are just dead. Okay, see? That is Psychic Energy? So, in hindsight, it would have been better to attach it to the Deoxys, but not right now. See a Bengal on the Kyurem, like 3 ends in his hand. I don't know what he flipped for. I guess he was asleep. He's just using the Snorlax as a sleep counter, which you can't do. You definitely should just turn it to the left for sleep. But we see an Enhanced Hammer, takes out the Plasma Energy, another Dark Claw, and a Laser. Oh my gosh, that means this Deoxys is going down this turn. and then another 30 damage will be put on the Deoxys with the Psychic Energy most likely, then all Israel would need is another laser to kill that, and he kills the Kyurem with just the Darkrai, and he has the Keldeo Dark Energy to get rid of the poison. So it is definitely Israel's definitely just running away with this game. I'm not really sure there's much that Justin can really do at this point. Israel did opt to put the 30 on the Kyurem, which I guess if he's expecting his Dark Claw Darkrai to go down is good. But with the way Justin's hand has been and like his setup, I would have much rather seen it on the Deoxys. Just because it makes it an easier knockout there. Yeah, but just who knew just straight Darkrai would still be this good. At least in this game it is. Alright, so we see a Colress Machine on the Deoxys. So that Deoxys is now going to do 100 to the Darkrai. Sorry, I'm just messing with a little bit of the stream stuff. Alright, so we see a laser, and this Darkrai is gonna do 140 to this Deoxys. Now, if he put the 30 on the Deoxys, that would have been the knockout there. And it would just be game over. But because he put the 30 on the Kyurem, it left this Deoxys alive. I don't think it's gonna matter anyway because of Israel's start compared to Justin's, but it's definitely something to look for in like the next 2 games, if there is 2 games. And the Deoxys did wake up, so we can see the Kyurem knock out the Darkrai, but then there's the Darkrai coming up, and all it has to do is Night Spear the Kyurem, do 30 to the Deoxys, and win the game. And there's really nothing that Justin can do at this point. There's just too much damage on his board built up to where he can't win. So I guess if he whiffs the Dark, gets an N. Alright. So Justin does have an out, I guess, and that's if Israel cannot get a Dark Energy. But unlike the Dark Arc Arbiter, where it only plays 8, 9 Dark Energy, this should play a little bit more at least. It should play 11, 12, I would guess. And he gets it. It was the first card. And that is game 1. Goes to Israel Sosa with his just straight Darkrai against Plasma Kyurem, which seemed to be just a bunch of water energies and like 1 psychic energy with Deoxys, which we really haven't seen lately, but I think it's kind of picked up because of the prevalence of Enhanced Hammer. Don't forget to tweet out with the hashtag OTBTCC about you watching the stream or a picture of you watching it to be entered in the contest for the Sylveon box, collection box. The new thing that's coming out has to deal with fairy energy, and you get the first fairy type Pokemon. It's definitely something cool. Now, going into game 2, Justin just needs a fast start, especially with how fast Israel started. He's looking to just not get overwhelmed by those Darkrai's. And right now, without Energy Switch, you would think the Kieran would be the faster start than Darkrai, but the way Game 1 went, it was Ultra Ball, Dark Energy, Dark Patch, Attach Dark, Retreat, get another Darkrai, Junk Hunt, next turn, Dark Patch, Bike, Juniper. It was crazy. Alright, so we see a Kyurem, a Deoxys, a Course Machine, and I think a Water, which is like the best start you would want for Justin. I see a Psychic Energy. Okay, he has the Water, has a Course Machine, and a Skyla. So he's gonna Skyla for Bengal? Or no, he's gonna Skyla for Juniper. I thought I saw Juniper in his hand, but I guess not. Skyla for Juniper, Course Machine for the Plasma Energy, and he's gonna do at least 40, which is what you can hope for, especially game 2 down by 1 game. He has the Burbank too. I don't know if I would play that down. I guess to get a card out of your hand, but you're going to Juniper next turn anyway. I wouldn't give your opponent the extra damage if they have a laser and no Burbank. Yeah, it just seems that way. So we see a Max Potion, which negated Justin's turn 1. An Energy Search to get an Energy. I didn't see the rest of Israel's hand though. Dark Claw and N. Alright. This is the one time where Darkrai misses its Energy Switch, where you just draw Sableye off the N, and you really want to Junk Hunt this turn, but you can't. And if he draws a laser here, it's actually going to be devastating. Just because it gets free damage on the board, especially with that Burbank. Okay, so he doesn't draw anything really. Retreats to a freshly Darkrai. And I wonder if this Darkrai deck plays Mr. Mime. I would think it would. Mr. Mime's just too important of a card to leave out in decks that have the ability to play it. If you catch my drift, I guess. I don't like. I like it in Blastoise. I like it in Darkrai. I even like it in Plasma. Like it's just an amazing card this format with like Genesect, Kieran, Darkrai, and Landers like hitting the bench. I would even like to play it in Darkrai Garbodor, but it's kind of against the whole point of the deck with Garbodor. So it's going to be interesting to see if he plays it because it's going to stop this Kyurem from really like trying to take over the game because this 40-30 is going to add up. And even just the 40-30 and the next turn Blizzard Burn knocks out either one if he has another Deoxys. Alright, so we see a Juniper. Gets another Kyurem. I don't think he has any energy though. Oh, that is rough. Missing energy drops with like a straightforward Kyurem build like this is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Because your main hope is to just set up multiple Kyurem's Frostbearing in the beginning, and then you'll have enough to back up Blizzard Burns late game. And without energy drops, you can't do that. Alright, so we see a Juniper from Israel. It's definitely not of as fast of a start that he had the game before. And another thing was Justin actually captured the Darkrai with the energy last turn, which I don't think I would have done that just because it forces Israel to attach an energy to the Darkrai that was already active. So it would force an energy on a Darkrai that was damaged, and it if he didn't have the Dark Patch, he couldn't have Junk Hunted. So I don't know. It's just some plays like you see later on, I guess. He drew a second Psychic Energy, so he plays two Psychic Energies. I'm guessing there's no Prism or Blends in this deck. He's just really trying to avoid losing everything to Enhanced Hammer. As we saw in like the format before this one, like Sableye junk hunting for Enhanced Hammer all the time is amazing against Plasma. So when Plasma takes out the Prisms and Blends, it really tries to make a horrible matchup like better just by negating one card basically. Alright, so we got a Floatstone on the Keldeo. And Israel got the Max Potion with Junk Hunt last turn, along with the Dark Patch, so he can just Max Potion like this Darkrai. If it doesn't go down after retreating, like Dark Patch, get another Darkrai. So yeah, he just 40-30 again. Oh, and he has a Mr. Mime down, so like I said, Mr. Mime is too good. So we see the Max Potion. We're going to see a Dark Patch on the other Darkrai with the energy. He already retreated, so he's not going to Night Spear this turn, but he's going to be able to Junk Hunt. Or no way to Night Spear, sorry. I was distracted for a little bit. But he is going to Junk Hunt this turn. He's going to get another Dark Patch, most likely. Going to get another Max Potion. He's just trying to clear his board of all the damage that the Kyurem eventually did, and just set up multiple Darkrai's. And he's able to do that with like the barrier provided by Mr. Mime. And still, like, I don't see much energy on Justin's side of the field, and it has to be heartbreaking. Like, I think it's turn 4 or 5 now, and he has 2 energy. So we see the laser gets the knockout on the Sableye. Still no damage on the bench though. Now, Israel has a choice. Like he can bring up the Darkrai. He can't Dark Patch to it though. And I think like he sees that and just doesn't have an energy in his hand. But he's able to like Max Potion the Darkrai, Dark Patch. If he has Laser and Dark Claw, he can knock out the Kyurem and... Okay, so he has the Dark Claw and the Juniper and the Keldeo. So he needs like a Dark Energy and a Laser, and he's knocking out the Kyurem and putting Justin back so many turns. I don't think he has the Laser though, so there's a glimmer of hope at least for Justin. He still has 1 energy on the field. And most likely getting like both his Kyurems knocked out by a catcher next turn. And the thing with this form of Darkrai, at least, the original one, it's with Keldeo, lasers don't do much unless you use laser to one-hit them. Just because poison and sleep don't really matter when you have Keldeo. And we haven't seen much like Keldeo in other decks lately, just because there's no lock deck like Gothitelle around to like force the need for it. Like, of course, Kyurem still needs it because of Blizzard Burn making it so you can't attack the turn after you use it, but It's good to see it back in Darkrai. So I think he whiffed like any regular water. I think he has a plasma energy. And he has a Colress machine. Yeah, he definitely would have wanted a water energy so he can Colress machine and then get the water. But it seems he drew the last one, so that Colress machine got nothing. This is just tough to watch. All right, so for those of you, his Darkrai is still asleep, I think. Or no, he hadn't flipped yet. And it knocked into the camera. uh, all right, heads. So he woke up, I think. It's really distracting of him, like, not turning his card, like the rules say. But he just puts the Snorlax on there. I don't know. I'll have to say something after the match, just to him personally, I guess. So we see another Dark Patch. So we have a second Darkrai getting charged up, and another Juniper. He is running through his deck. Now, does he have the catcher to get the double knockout or the Dark Claw? I don't see a catcher in his hand, so that's kind of bad to see, not see the catcher because he wastes a little bit of damage. Uh, you're still taking Justin's only energy off the board. And also, Justin opted not to play the Plasma Energy the turn before, like for his energy attachment. I don't know if he was afraid of Enhanced Hammer or just uh, I don't really know. Uh, but it also like just keeps setting him back energy. So he dowsing machined, and I think he got a supporter. I wasn't sure what he got. Could have gotten a catcher. Maybe got the double. But he's in the driver's position. He's completely ahead, even though the prizes are tied. Uh, and I guess he just wants to play it safe. You want to keep this stream of Darkrai's going, because there's nothing Justin can do right now. It's looking pretty bleak. All right. Yeah, like all Justin can really do is try to get energy in play and try to start attacking. It's and that's the biggest problem with this Kyurem, like just straight Kyurem Deoxys deck is if you miss energy, it's an uphill battle the whole way. All right, so we see another laser. If he has the Dark Claw to knock it out, okay, he doesn't. But there's 120 on that Keldeo, and then 30 on the Kyurem. And we still see no energy from Justin. This is just bad. It's hard to watch. We see a Super Odd, most likely putting back some waters. He ain't even drawn that many. But he's just staring down two almost fresh Darkrai's. There's 30 damage on one, the other one's fresh. Like, it's essentially, they're both fresh. Staring down at Mr. Mime, where his Frostbeers can't put in work. There's a Keldeo, so his lasers can't add up damage. And it's just not the position Justin wanted to be in, especially game 2 being down the first game. And he drew no energy off that Juniper. Oh my gosh, this is... I'm pretty sure that's going to be game over for Justin. Like, I hate to call it when it's 5-5 prizes, but he's missed an energy attachment for the past 4 or 5 turns. The only energy he attached was turn 1 when he got that turn 1 Frost Spear. Alright, so he laser, got the double knockout, take 3 prizes. Or, oh yeah, no. There was only 120 on the Keldeo, so now it's going to be 150. And next turn, there will be that Keldeo getting knocked out. And again, Justin did not draw an energy. His whole deck must be energy, or his whole prizes must be energy. Like, it's honestly insane. See a chorus for 10. If he doesn't get an energy off this, I don't know what I would do. And the thing is, though, I think it's 1 plasma energy left. I'm not sure because he opted not to play it. Well, let's see a bunch of energy in his hand. So he drew the last plasma energy. So he can't even attach plasma energy or attach water course machine because he drew the last plasma. And that's like the downfall of like a big chorus is just you can draw too much. Ah, this is just bad. 2-5 now. And that Deoxys is still asleep. Justin did dog switch. And he has energy in his hand now, so he's able to at least attack. He has Bangle too, so Frost Spear does 90.
Nathan Lung, if you are still here, please come up to the stage.
The thing is though, if Israel just has a catcher in his hand, he wins. He has almost 3 Darkrai's charged up. Yeah, that is his last plasma energy in his hand. This whole game has just been bad. And he top decks the catcher. So guys, we actually have our first completed game, and Israel Sosa wins 2-0 with his straight Darkrai deck against Plasma Kyurem deck. What can I say? This it was really lopsided, and I guess Justin doesn't play energies. We do have